So boom, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Previously this is the second time I'm shooting the video. First time my microphone didn't work properly, it didn't receive the audio very well. So this video is all about why other brands are against Google. So if you are new to this channel, drop a like, drop a comment and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Let us roll the intro. So Google is standing alone and fighting against everyone in the smartphone market, from such as brands like Xiaomi, Oppo, Vivo, IQ, etc. They are standing alone and fighting against with each brand. During 2019, USA government have banned Huawei in 2019. So the major reason for the brand was it was a Chinese company, and the government have sent a legal notice that no USA brand should collaborate with Huawei, so that companies like Snapdragon, MediaTek, and Google, which produces Android for every smartphone in the smartphone industry. So during that era, you have a
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
in that era, Huawei about to become first place in a smartphone brand, and it was a top selling smartphone during 2019. And when Huawei was at its peak, this band has occurred, which led to Huawei downfall. And Huawei were pretty much ahead of their time in terms of innovation, in terms of software, in terms of hardware. Like they were the one who have invented 100x camera through their smartphones before Samsung have introduced the technology, and they were pretty reliable, and they were pretty stable in outside markets such as Dubai, Europe, and etc. So at this peak of their stage, they have faced this ban, and everything was just a shattered dream. So if you observe from past 4 to 5 years, Huawei started relaunching their brand with their own software known as Harmony OS, which is an open source, as well as they are making their own processors known as Kirin, which gives a flagship performance, as well as they are doing lots of innovations, and they are implementing lots of creative ideas in their company. For suppose if you take example of their foldable first smartphone, it has 3 screens in their foldable smartphone, and which is quite interesting. And they were not lacking any much back, they are keeping up with the competition. And if we say in general terms, they made their comeback, but our comeback is still pending. Yeah. And they also made their own 5G modems to keep up with the innovation. And another major thing is that the Harmony OS is pretty much similar to Android, which is user friendly, and you can install every app as possible. And to be precise, this ban was happened during a Donald Trump time period, and in 2020-25, major brands such as Xiaomi, Realme, Vivo, IQ, OnePlus can also go through the same issue, and they have to be aware of it. What are these Chinese brands are doing to get out of it? So let us talk about Xiaomi. Xiaomi have launched their Surge chip in 2018, which is their own processor, and now they have invested billions of dollars in improving it, and they also want to use these same chips for electronics as well. And they use these Surge chips for fast charging and etc. And talking about the Vivo, they have their own V1 processor, and IQ also has their Q1 processor. And talking about Oppo, they also come with their own processor for image optimization. And these are all secondary processors are used to bring minor improvements in terms of fast charging, as well as image processing in terms of performance, which takes a little bit load of main processor. And talking about Xiaomi, they have launched their HyperOS, which is an trend-setting OS kind of I see, and they want to expand their OS capabilities across the horizons. And talking about Harmony OS, which is powered by Huawei, like they are going to launch their stable version or another version of their OS in this month or this year. So talking about the Harmony OS, they are based on open source Android, and completely they want to get independent and make their own OS known as Harmony OS, and it is an open source kind of OS for now, but they want to be independent. And let us talk about our neighbors. I'm sorry, you took that in wrong way. Let us talk about China. Like in China, they have their own internet, their own alternative apps for Uber, Zomato, etc. And they are much more welcoming in terms of accepting a newer version of their technologies. So for example, if someone wants to launch their new smartphone, or they want to experiment with their new OS, China is in correct place, because they are tech enthusiasts, and so everyone is everyone they want to try new things. Like in India, there is no wide range of acceptance in terms of newer technology. People want something stable, something reliable, something they know. And so if they launch their Hyper OS and Harmony OS in China's sector, or in a Chinese region, and they should make their improvement and make it stable, and they should relaunch the international version in India with minor tweaks and minor adjustments in their OS as per our security guidelines. And I think this thing will work pretty much well. So if you take an example, Color OS in China is different and Color OS in India is different. There are lots, so there is no major differences in terms of OS, but there are small tweaks in terms of performance. And like in this 2025, the brand should not rely on others for equipments or for components and etc. They should rely on themselves to create all those things, and they should be an independent company. So Apple is a perfect example for it, like they manufacture their own processors, their own OS, they have their own design, and after creating all this, they give production for other brands to produce their products. Like it is known as wait a minute.
Meanwhile,
This is known as vertical integration, where brands have all the control from pre-production to post-production of an product, like from design to from manufacturing of the product. This gives complete power to control their product in terms of in terms of as well as hardware as well as software, which helps to push the product to maximum limits. And they can also make major and minor tweaks, and they can bring a stability to the product. Like if you take example of Apple, they have a limited amount of products, like they will have 4 to 5 products of iPhone, where they consistently focus on them to bring major improvements, to bring major stability and performance improvements in terms of every aspects. It gives wider range of control for them. And this vertical integration also helps us to cost cut everything, and helps us to generate major growth in a revenue sector, because relying on third party brands helps to spend large amount of money. But if you are doing everything on your own, then you can be your own boss, right? Apple follows this same rule, and every Chinese brand in 2020-25 also want to follow the same rule, because USA may announce ban on China products anytime, or in any situation. So to overcome this problem, they have to self dependent on themselves, than rather than relying on others. So yeah, so the final conclusion is nothing but brands should rely on themselves, from manufacturing to products to designing their products and selling their products, and they should have control over everything they are doing it. And this vertical type of integration helps us to generate large amount of revenue for the products. If you take for example, Samsung makes best foldable smartphone, but it's not that great. Huawei has triple folding smartphone, as I said before, and it has designed in such a way, it is crafted to perfectionism, perfectionist, or it perfectionist product. it is a perfect product to use. And this Chinese smartphone also do lot of innovations in terms of design as well as features, as I said before. And people other brands such as Apple and Samsung have to learn from these Chinese products in terms of innovation. Like they offer much more performance or features for the price they are charging rather than this. And that's it. They should not rely on others. They should start their own production and etc. And this helps in brands like Oppo and Vivo, as well as IQ, to overcome the issue what Huawei has faced before. And it helps to bring stability for themselves. If you are new to this channel, drop a like, drop a comment and subscribe my channel. Take you signing off here. Thank you.